Dune, Star Wars, comic book movies, Fast and Furious, Transformers. Why do we like watching these films? Sci fi films captivate audiences by blending imagination, curiosity, and adventure. They offer an escape to extraordinary worlds, from the futuristic cities of Blade Runner to the distant galaxies of Star Wars. These films explore the unknown, stimulating our curiosity about space, time travel, and advanced technology, much like Interstellar did with its mind bending depiction of black holes and relativity. Themes like love, survival, betrayal, and morality are explored in extreme and speculative contexts, providing a fresh perspective on these universal human experiences. This exploration can lead to a deeper understanding of ourselves and our society, and as we have seen this in Martian and films like Predestination. By addressing contemporary societal issues, sci fi films provide thought provoking reflections. The Matrix delved into virtual reality and questioned the nature of existence, while Black Mirror episodes often warn about the dangers of unchecked technological advancement. These stories mirror our anxieties about AI, climate change, socio-political upheavals, and dystopian futures. But there is one common thread that binds all of these together: their transportative ability. These films pull us into worlds that feel incredibly tangible and believable. We watch these stories unfold with wide eyed wonder because, despite their fantastical elements, they are presented in a way that make them feel very real to the audience. Sci fi films at their best show us glimpses of what might be possible, from mobile phones to video calls predicted in the 1950s, becoming everyday realities by the turn of the millennium. Indian cinema has dabbled with the sci fi genre, but often the results have been either far fetched or lacking in one crucial aspect that makes sci fi viewing captivating, which is the believability of the world that the story is set in. This is where Kalki 2898 AD breaks new ground. It stands out as a film that offers a believable and immersive sci fi experience, setting a new benchmark for the genre in Indian cinema. Kalki brilliantly intertwines a timeless narrative with modern retelling, creating a sense of familiarity and a setting that makes you think, yes, this can happen. The film draws heavily from Indian mythology, particularly the Mahabharata, reimagining iconic characters and story arcs in a futuristic setting. Now, this blending of the ancient and the futuristic grounds the film in a reality that feels both distant and familiar. The world building in this film is absolute gold in terms of creating a tangible and believable universe which is meticulously constructed across three different dimensions. Each dimension in a world adds depth and realism, which makes the audience feel as if they are truly immersed in this future dystopian world that we are witnessing on the big screen. Now, firstly, the introductory scene, which transitions from the end of the Mahabharata, that is the Kurukshetra war, to a 6,000-year jump, uses a comic book style depiction to illustrate the events that have shaped this dystopian future. This creative narrative device effectively bridges the past and the future, providing a comprehensive backstory that enhances the believability of the current world. The ruggedness of Kashi contrasts sharply with the utopian complex of the haves. Kashi's gritty, desolate environment paints a picture of hardship and survival, embodying the struggles of a society that has no resources left. The film's visual design captures the rawness of this setting, grounding it in a reality that feels almost palpable. In stark contrast, the utopian complex is a realm of opulence and technological advancement, with lush green expanses representing the privileges of the resources of the elite. And these are not years that are far away from us, because the way we are killing off our nature as a society and the growing socio-economic equality amongst us is a clear reflection of this future. This dichotomy vividly illustrates the disparity between the haves and the have nots, anchoring the narrative in a socio-economic context that is both familiar and futuristic. The rebel world of Shambhala introduces a third dimension, characterized by its raw, dying nature and the spirit of resistance. This world stands as a beacon of hope and defiance against oppressive systems. It has a dying tree reflecting the resilience and determination of its inhabitants. The almost collapse of these environments not only provides a visual feast but also deepens the narrative, highlighting the stakes and the motivation of the characters. Also, Supreme Yaskin, played by Kamal Hassan, it's a brilliant performance. I really enjoyed his performance. He is the main antagonist of this story. His story is set in a surrounding that resembles a womb filled with water, which is a stark and haunting environment symbolizing the stripped, lifeless state of the world under his rule. This setting is both eerie and evocative, underscoring Yaskin's domination and the barren future which his character represents. The visual storytelling here is powerful, reinforcing the thematic core of the environmental and moral degradation. Budgie, the supercar that doubles as a vehicle and a companion, adds another layer of tangibility to the world. Its design and functionality are emblematic of the film's blend of technology and humanity, making it a character in its own right. Now, costumes also play a crucial role in differentiating the world, with stark contrast between the utilitarian garb of the downtrodden and the elaborate, crisp attires of the elites. This attention to detail in costume design not only visually distinguishes the characters but also reinforces their social standings and the world that they inhabit. In this film, the world building is not just a backdrop but a living, breathing entity. You actually feel, you actually believe that whatever you see is happening. The story is believable through its rugged landscapes, lush utopias, rebellious standouts, and eerie villain liars. The film creates a universe that is immersive and convincingly real, drawing the audiences into its intricately crafted dystopian future. As mentioned, the film draws heavily from the mythological epic Mahabharata, smartly incorporating certain characters to connect the past with the future. The film's premise is set in a post apocalyptic 2898 AD, which is 6,000 years after the Mahabharata. Ashwathama, played amazingly by Amitabh Bachchan, is cursed with immortality, and the world is godless in Kali Yuga. Prabhas portrays Bhairava, a modern day incarnation of Kal Bhairav, the savior of Kashi, as well as the new age Karn, while Deepika Padukone plays Sumati, the mother to be of Kalki. Vijay Deverakonda appears as Arjun, with Kashi depicted as the first and last city of the universe. The use of Lord Krishna's magnanimity is particularly striking, represented only as a silhouette with light flares, allowing the viewers to project their own imagination onto this towering personality. The film also has a whole list of supporting cast, and there are various cameos in the film which have been put to great use. Probably one of the most fun ones after films like Om Shanti Om and Lag by Chance. The conflict in this film arises from the coalition of absolute forces, the unstoppable march of technology against the immovable faith in divinity. This battle is depicted not just in physical confrontations but in ideological debates and moral choices. The characters must navigate this complex landscape, making decisions that reflect their beliefs and values. The film does not provide any answers but instead invites viewers to ponder on these questions alongside the characters while the narrative is progressing. It challenges us. This film challenges the audience to consider the role of technology in our lives and the importance of maintaining a connection to our spiritual heritage. It shows mythology and science fiction, portraying them as two facets of storytelling, one rooted in ancient scriptures and the other in modern imagination. The depiction of a godless era highlights the misuse of religion. The confrontations between Ashwathama with his supernatural abilities and Bhairava with his advanced technology symbolize the clash between fantasy and reality, faith and progress. There are no winners here, but the film leads to their eventual alliance. Even the ultimate savior, the born to be Kalki, is developed through technology in a lab. This reflects how civilizations evolve by intertwining old myths with new stories. As it is said, those that fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Now, tentpole films come with immense expectations, turning into events that fans eagerly anticipate for years. The hype surrounding these movies is colossal, leading to extreme reactions upon their release. For audiences, these films are cinematic victories or complete disasters. There is no middle ground. The sheer scale and excitement they generate demand passionate praise or fierce criticism. Now, when films like Kalki explore the less familiar genres, they often face comparisons to international cinema. Now, while these comparisons can be expected, they can also be unfair due to the differences in resources, creativity, and budget constraints. Nonetheless, it is important not to settle for a poorly executed film just because it has ambitious ideas. At the same time, we should not outrightly dismiss a movie that dares to break new ground. Striking a balance between appreciating innovation and critiquing execution is the key to understanding and enjoying these bold cinematic attempts and the universes that these films try to create. Director Nag Ashwin deserves immense praise for his visionary approach and impressive dedication and execution. Considering that he has just two films in his career so far, his work on the film demonstrates that India is brimming with talented artists who are ready to unleash their creativity with the right support, and yes, with the right financial support as well. Nag Ashwin's ability to draw inspiration from international cinema while infusing it with his unique style is commendable, especially in an industry where blatant copying was once common. With Kalki, Ashwin has set a new standard, and Indian cinema should take note. This film is just the beginning of an exciting cinematic universe, promising much more to come in the years ahead. And lastly, I would like to point out one thing which I was very impressed by this aspect of Nag Ashwin, that he understands the difference between copying and inspiration. I think this difference needs to be understood by each and everyone.